Welcome to SEPAM. I'm Orisheje Matthew. We're going to look at the 9 laws of indices in this video. This lesson summarizes the fundamental law of indices. The understanding of these laws is very crucial for simplifying expression and solving equation in algebra. This episode is to help students learn, enjoy, and progress through mathematics in the national curriculum. The episode is to help students. Every student needs success and satisfaction in getting calculation of indices right. And so we're going to be looking at the 9 laws of indices that you need to understand. First one, you have the multiplication law, division law, power law, zero law, negative power law, the fractional power law or the roots. Then we have the general fractional power law. We have the power of a product law. Then power of a quotient law. So these are the laws we're going to be treating. So let's look at them one by one closely. We have the multiplication law, where you have the base a raised to power m multiply a raised to power m. So eventually the answer is going to be a raised to power m plus n. So once the powers are different, you add the power. So when multiplying terms with the same base, add the power. So if you have this, that will be 2 raised to the power of 2 plus 3. So that will give you, so it's as easy as that. Then I want you to try this. 5 raised to power 3 multiply 5 raised to power 4. What is the answer? So if you solve it, okay, A, B, C, D, what do you think is the answer? All right, so that is the answer. So let's look at the next one, which is the division law. Now division law, we have a raised to power m divided by a raised to power. So we have this law. So what is it going to be? So you have if you carry out the division, you subtract the power. So that will be 7. 4 raised to power 7 take away 5. So simplify this. 7 raised to power 6 divided by 7 raised to power 2. So 7 raised to power 4. Let's look at the power of a power law. So if you have this, a raised to power m multiply raised to power n. So in this case, you multiply the power. So that will be what? A raised to power m multiply n. For example, 2 raised to power 3, all bracket raised to power 2 square. So that will be 2 raised to power 3, 8, multiply square it, that is give you 2 raised to power 6, which is 64. So what do you think is the answer to this? 4 raised to power 6 all cube. Correct. So let's go to the zero power law. So to solve this, we have anything raised to power 0 is 1. Anything raised to power 0 is 1. So let's look at this. 6 raised to power 0 is 1. 25 raised to the power 0 is 1. T raised to the power 0 is 1. So simplify this expression. 25 raised to the power half all raised to the power 0. So what do you think is the answer? It's 1. That is C. So negative power law, you have this s raised to the power negative n. So that will be 1 all over s raised to the power n. A term with a negative power is equal to its reciprocal with a positive power. So, example, what is the value of 5 raised to the power negative 3? So that is, take the reciprocal of 5 raised to the power negative 3 is 1 all over 5 raised to the power 3 positive power. 5 raised to the power 3 is 5 multiplied 5 multiplied by 5. So that will give you 1 over 125. So what do you think is the answer to this expression? 64 raised to the power 1 over 3 all raised to the power negative 2. So it's 1 over 16. That is D. So the sixth law is the law of fractional power. So a raised to the power 1 over n is the nth root of a. So (16 raised to the power half is the square root of 16. So 32 raised to the power 1 over 5 is the fifth root of 32. In other words, what is the number that will multiply by himself 5 times to get 32? So the answer is 2. 2 multiplied 2, 4, multiplied by 2, 8, multiplied by 2, 16, multiplied by 2, 32. So the fifth root of 32 is 2. So look at this. (27 raised to the power 1 over 3). What is the answer? That is the cube root of 27. Which number will you multiply by himself 3 times to get 27? 3. So let's look at general fractional law. A raised to the power m over n is the nth root of a raised to the power m, or the nth root of a all raised to the power m. So a fractional power can be interpreted as taking nth root and then raising it to the power of m, or vice versa. So let's see what is the value of 8 raised to the power 2 over 3. So that is the cube root of a square, or the cube root of 8 all square. So the cube root of 8 is 2. What will you multiply by himself 3 times to get 8? 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. So the cube root of 8 is 2. Then all raised to the power 2. So that will give you 4. Or we can go the other way. Is the cube root of 8 squared with cube root of 64, which is 4 times 4 times 4. That is, you take one of them, that is 4. So I want you to solve this. What is the value of 27 raised to the power 2 over 3? Power of a product law. A, B, all raised to power n is every item inside the bracket will raise to the power outside the bracket. So that is A raised to power n multiply B raised to power n. So when a product is raised to a power, each factor within the product is raised to that power. Example, so let's look at this. 3s all raised to power 3 is 3 raised to power 3 multiply s raised to power 3. So 3 raised to power 3 is 3 times 3 times 3, 27, multiplied by s raised to power 3. 2 raised to power 8 multiply s raised to power 4 all raised to power half outside the bracket. So this half will multiply, so this one will be solved as 2 raised to power 8 times half, that is half of the power, and then so if you do that, 2 can divide 8, that is 2 raised to power 4, then 2 can divide 4, s raised to power 2. So the answer is 16s squared. 2 raised to power 4 is multiplying 2 by himself 4 times. 2 times 2, 4, times 2, 8, times 2, 16. So we're going to look at the law of quotient, which is the last one. So if I have a over b all raised to power m, so what does it mean? When a fraction is raised to a power, both the numerator and the denominator are raised to that same power. So a over b all raised to power m is same thing as a raised to power m divided by b raised to power m. So let's look at an example. So 3 over 5 all square, that is 3 square divided by 5 square. 3 square is 3 times 3, which is 9, and then 5 square is 5 times 5, which is 25. So keep this as a handy guide to help you carry out all your indices calculations. So it's just a summary, but we're going to take a closer look at each of the law in different examination body as they are being tested and evaluated. So subscribe to SEPAM Super Easy Physics and Mathematics for more.